Hey everyone, hello. I'm still excited about 2019. Maybe it was because 2018 was a little bit hard for me, a little bit hard for everyone, and kind of really shaking up the planet in many different ways, bringing up a lot of what we weren't seeing or maybe witnessing, or at least some people were not witnessing or seeing out into the air, onto the surface so we could clear it up. So we're still in that process of healing. I would say that we're not even anywhere near, anywhere close to what we really need to begin to heal all the isms, all of it, sexism, racism, all of it. And so the task is arduous. The process will be long. So how do we support ourselves? How do we take care of ourselves in a way that can serve us and also help us serve the world, serve our families? Hello, how are you? So we're talking about the changes for this year. And so one of the ways that I do that, I'm an intuitive, a psychic, a hypnotherapist. I also do a lot of deep work with ancestral patterns. Now, how can I explain an ancestral pattern? You can look at your own life and then look at family members, maybe great-grandparents, parents, and begin to see where there are patterns of hopelessness, helplessness, patterns of overwork. A lot of us, especially I'm an immigrant, I was not born in this country, in the United States. I was not born here. I was born in South America. We come into this country and we have these belief systems that we've been passing on, and they're usually unspoken. So they're not something that we usually talk about. Most ancestral patterns or ancestral inherited energetic or ways of being or mindsets are things that have been passed down from generation to generation. I have several clients who have had family members who have perished in World War II in the concentration camps. And sometimes in their family members, there is an energy of fear being passed on, an energy of worry, of course, an energy of, am I truly safe on this planet? And so if you have a family story, and I mean, all of us do, right? All of us have a family story. For my side of the family, I'm 12% Native American from Argentina, and that's the part that was denied because my grandmother was an orphan and given to an orphanage. So we don't even know her heritage. All I know from the DNA and from looking at her and from what I feel. And so there's also been a lot of family members in my family who have been entrepreneurs and have left one country to the next, in Italy and other parts of Spain and France, and have traveled then to Argentina, then traveling to the United States. And so this energy often of restlessness, of searching, of expansiveness, of doing our own thing. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. And so what are the stories that we're inheriting? There are some of my clients that I've worked with have inherited not only stress, anxiety, or fear. They've also inherited stories of relationships, love stories, right? Like I know some families that the women have done it alone. They've been single mothers generation after generation after generation. And my clients have come to work with me to be able to heal that belief and that energetic pattern so they can finally have a relationship that lasts, that is positive. They did not even have in their psyche, in their heart, and their mind, the possibility that they could have a happy relationship because they saw their great-grandmother, their grandmother, their mother, their sisters, their cousins. And so this patterning affects everything. It affects our health. It affects our sense of beauty, our sense of self-value, our self-worth. It affects our state of mind, our capacity to be able to go out on our own, our capacity, some stories and families are that artists starve, right? And so a lot of people give up their artist or give up their artistry or their desire to create or even to spend time doing that because they're like, well, my family, we're all doctors, or my family, we all have to be engineers, or we all have to be lawyers, or we all have to be merchants, etc., because this is the way it is. And so if you're finding that you're dealing with some of this, we're under moon in Aquarius right now for the next 2 days, which is stepping out in a new direction, reach out and let's talk about this. The first call that I have with anyone is free, and we're figuring out, how can I serve you? How can I support you? Part of the work that I do is ancestral, as I was sharing, but hypnosis goes much deeper than that. Sometimes people come to me and it winds up being an early childhood trauma. It winds up being some energetic pattern that was recorded in that moment that they went to school and their teacher said, you are no good, or you can't do public speaking. And that stayed, and it was so recorded in someone's heart and someone's energy and mind that now when they get in front of the audience, they're frightened and scared. Hypnosis can help you with this. I know that for me, stepping out as a priestess, as a healer, as an intuitive was a big deal. And what I found out as I explored my own ancestry was that I was fourth generation medium. I was a fourth generation medium, and that no one, hey, how are you, JC Hera? And most of my family did not talk about this. They just had these beliefs. So I'm the first one that stepped out, has become public, and has really shared with the world the kind of intuitive abilities that we all have, and how mediumship can support people, how healing and alternative methods. Hi, Whitney. How are you? We're talking about ancestral patterns, Whitney. And so I know that for me, uncovering a lot of that, doing ancestor work, and I have an ancestor shelf. That means that I have a shelf where all the people who've passed over are. And every Monday to me, which is opening the gateway for the week, hey, I sit down or I stand, I pray, I thank my ancestors for all they've given, and I also ask for guidance. So not only can we work with ancestors in terms of supporting healing for the family, releasing fears because what our ancestors have gone through, right? A lot of our ancestors have left countries, have dealt with prejudice, or have dealt with oppression or other forms of religious or racial oppression, and so cultural oppression. And so how do we heal that now in this time and age? Another way that we can do it is by creating an altar or a space where we can commune. Some people don't care much about their ancestors. For me, they've been a source of growth, of support, and honestly, everything that I've done that they didn't do. I had a grandmother who loved performing, was an actress and a singer, and because of the times, it was the 1930s, she got married and had to leave everything, and she had just been tapped to go work in a really big theater, the most famous theater in Buenos Aires, and so she could have had a really good career, but had to give it up to get married and have kids. There was always a little sense of depression of giving up her art. And so for me, well, I don't follow it as a career path. I've always gone back to acting. I've always gone back to performing, belly dance, singing as a way to honor my ancestors, but also to exercise a freedom that my grandmothers and my great-grandmothers and my great-great-great-grandmothers didn't have. And so there are different ways to do this. We can do it on our own by just consciously saying, well, what did my grandmother love and couldn't do, or my great-grandfather and they couldn't do? Or what did they experience in their lifetime that I have greater freedom over? And how can I rejoice in that and pass down the trickles of joy through the generations, backwards and forwards? Or if you're feeling that it's very overwhelming and you want to talk to me, let's do that. Now, a reminder that it is Moon in Aquarius. So if you're feeling an inkling or something that's pulling you to do it differently today and tomorrow, do it differently, whatever it is. Aquarius is the sign of the visionary, the humanitarian, and the one who does it their own way. So if you're feeling that call and that energy, do it. And just thank you for being here. It's so wonderful to talk to someone. Thank you, DIR Mask and Care. Thanks so much for sharing, for listening. And there's so much freedom. We all carry within us the ability to witness each other, to share our wisdom, because each and every one of us has wisdom, and also to release. And my great hope is that bit by bit, not only are we healing ourselves, but healing the world. So sending you all so much love. If you would like to connect or talk, let's do so. Again, I'll see you. Bye-bye. Love.